What's poppin'? She a rebound, no robbing.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? This is a special day, special edition of the Sports Port. This is the official Masters recap special.
Yes, sir.
From the Sports Port, powered by Downtime TV. And the one and only, our boy, Steve Guasco, a.k.a. Goose, is back.
Good to be back.
He's
Good to be back.
to break it down. I'm pumped. I'm really pumped to get into this breakdown.
Yeah.
Because
Got some
as
good stuff.
everybody now knows from him being on the show last time giving the preview, this boy
He knows his thing.
about golf.
Yes.
Big time.
Appreciate it.
Big time. So
We got some
we're
good
going to
stuff
jump
get
right into it.
Yeah,
You down?
absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start off. Let's start off with the winner,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good place to start. Yeah.
Dustin Johnson.
So
Let's hear it.
we talked about him a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
Nobody
Nobody picked him.
Nobody picked him
to win.
And he kind of went under the radar, really. I mean, he's the number one player in the world, and he, went out and dominated this event. Shot 20 under. First time anybody's been to 20 under par at Augusta ever.
That's crazy, bro.
Ever, right? And won the event by 5 shots. I mean, yes, the course played different, and we're going to get into that, but to win this event at 20 under par is really remarkable at this golf course.
Everybody was saying that on Sunday was like, and again, this is another thing we talk about, but the ratings and everything were down because Johnson was so far ahead that everybody just knew he was going to pull away. There was no like back and forth. It's not like a couple years ago. Remember we had Spieth and
Correct.
Who was it? Spieth and Ustazen?
Even last year,
Whatever.
when Tiger was obviously when Tiger was there and people were trying to chase him, people tried to catch him. This year, and I've told that to a couple people, it wasn't boring for me.
Yeah,
but
right.
As an average fan, there really wasn't that much on the back nine. Yeah. One, because there was no fans there, and that obviously changed the event. But Johnson played so good on the back nine.
Yep.
It was like every shot.
Nobody had a
once
chance.
Once he got through 12, and then he's got 13 and 15 to come in, and that was pretty much it for me.
When in your mind did you know that he was going to win? Like what hole or how far? What was the score looking like?
Well, he was when I turned it on when they finally got the coverage on live on CBS. He was up by 1. And it was starting to get really, really tight on the front side. And he made a couple bogeys in a row. And, you're going to make bogeys out there. Everybody's going to make bogeys. But when he hit that shot on 6 and made birdie after bogeying 4 and 5, I'm like, okay, he's going to get something going now. And then the next shot for me was the up and down on 11. When he made par on 11 from just off the green, hit to 5 feet, and the putting this week was unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable from this guy that when he made that, I'm like, okay, he's really got to hit one good shot here on 12, and then he can cruise in because these par 5s are par 4s for him.
Yeah.
And there was really no one in sight once he got through 12.
Yeah, he pulled away, and he didn't even look back.
Right.
But so Justin Johnson is, and we were talking about a little bit about this before. He's got in his last 7 appearances on the tour, right? He's got 3 first place finishes and 3 second place finishes. So I think we were talking that. And you were telling me that he look out for him in 2021, right? Dustin Johnson to maybe rattle off a few more
He's
victories.
I mean, if you look at these events, the 3 wins came at Augusta, it came at the FedEx Cup, 2 events in the FedEx Cup, and then a couple second place finishes. Now, and we're going to talk about this later, these guys don't have to wait a year to play.
I know.
At Augusta again. It's going to be here before
6 months.
April's going to be here, rather quickly, whether,
it's 6 months away right now.
Correct. So, his game is really obviously very good. He's a number 1 player in the world.
Yep.
But, for him going forward, and you can tell, following, this meant a lot to him. One, because he grew up an hour away in South Carolina.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So when this event comes around, he's so pumped. Close.
Yeah.
His family drove that afternoon just to be there for that afternoon. They weren't there all week because of the fans, and they have they've got a big group, but they're not that far. So you can tell how emotional he was. If anybody saw the interview,
was this his first time winning?
This is his first time winning Augusta.
Oh, cool,
yep.
Nice, epic,
huge victory for him. And I don't know if anybody saw it, but Amanda Balionis from CBS was interviewing him on the green following this event, and the guy's pretty cool cat when he's on the golf course. You can't really tell what's going on.
Right.
He's really even killed no matter what. And he just lost it. Couldn't find the words. Started breaking down because it meant that much to him. and then to put on top of it that Tiger Woods is the one putting the green jacket on your back, it makes it even more special for a guy that grew up watching Tiger play
there
and
winning.
then winning all these events, and now guess what? He's going to put the green jacket on your back, and you've got a Masters championship.
And
you're part of history now.
Part of history. Never. He's going to come back, and you even said he goes,
putting that jacket on somebody in 6 months.
I'm going to come back.
Or maybe he put it on himself.
Well, we can talk about that too.
debate.
Yeah,
Repeat action.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nose here. It could springboard him.
Yeah,
that's everybody's first reaction is, how many majors are you going to win now? You just and he's been in a lot of them. He's won the U.S. Open. He's been in the PGA. He should have won the PGA this year. Got outplayed on Sunday. Same thing, British Open, but this could be something that he can look back on like, guess what? I won at Augusta. Mm-hmm. I'm happy. I've got all these tour victories. I've got a green jacket. Now it's time to, we can just relax a little bit more now and play even better than he played last week, which is crazy to think.
So you're saying he's going to be a little free spirit. Gonna make him,
because his story is he finished in second a lot of times in these majors and had 54-hole leads, couldn't get the job done. This time around, had the 54-hole lead, biggest event really in his mind, got the job done, and
it's like a weight off his back.
Huge weight, even though he already had a major.
Yeah,
it feels like this could be something, and just like you said, he only has to wait 6 months. Now, the golf course is going to play extremely different, and that's a perfect spot for us to change over.
That's what I was going to say. I wanted to, because I want to touch on the course, too, because that there's differences between the golf course in April and November. But before, real quick, just sticking with the players, obviously, Dustin, we just covered him, but who else were you watching, and who else
performed well?
Who else performed well? Who stood out a little bit?
Yeah,
that could maybe propel, they can take whatever their performance and take it into the next event.
Sure, there's a couple guys, and I'm going to start with a guy who we've got on our list here, and that's Cam Smith. This guy lost by 5 shots and did something that no one has ever done in this tournament. Shot in the 60s all 4 rounds. Thursday shot 67, Friday shot 68, and he shot 69 both days on the weekend.
Wow, beast!
Okay? And he didn't win.
Yeah.
Okay. No one ever in the history. Not DJ shot 70 on Friday. Okay. So not even DJ did that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the only guy who's ever done that. And this is an event now. And again, we're going to get into it, but it's going to play a lot different. But this kid now knows
the course.
He knows the course a little bit better. He hit some unbelievable shots out of some bad areas on Sunday. If anybody was watching, the shot he hit on 7 and the shot he hit on 9 was in the middle of the woods. And he hits it to 5 or 6 feet and kind of got him right in that mix. He was only 1 back with 8 holes to play. So you're thinking, this is my chance. I could win this thing if I make some really, really good swings in the back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't.
Right.
And wasn't able to take advantage of the par 5s, which is really what we talked about you need to do. And that's what DJ did.
Yeah.
He didn't really hit great shots on the back 9 on those par 5s, but he's able to make birdie on both of them.
Yeah.
So you do that, you kind of elevate. So he's kind of somebody that you can look for in the next couple of years. Like, he's a really young player, got a ton of game. I mean, you can't say anything bad about him. I mean, he played really, really good. He just got outplayed by somebody who
is a little bit ahead of him.
A little bit ahead of him at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. And that's
From
somebody
experience
and I also think, and we're going to talk about him later too. And we didn't really. And that's probably more my mistake than the guys here. I didn't really talk about John Rahm, and that
I'm not even familiar with that name.
Let us know about this man.
Let's just
Who the
talk.
hell is John Rahm?
Exactly, he's the number 2 player in the world, and we didn't even talk about him. So that's just a terrible blunder on my part. But going into this week, he's played. He's another player that we should have watched out for. And during the practice rounds this year at Augusta, no fans. He made a hole-in-1 on Tuesday. I think it was on the front side. I'm not sure of the exact hole. And then I'm sure if you have any type of social media or you watch ESPN,
he did that.
He skipped the ball on 16 and made a hole-in-1 on his birthday. Okay,
Mike couldn't stop talking about it.
I couldn't. I loved it so much.
And that's a tradition that they do during the practice round. You skip the shot on 16. over the water, and it's hard to do it, okay? And then it went in the hole, and it was his birthday, and I'm like, well, and then I'm thinking to myself,
So this dude's gonna win.
I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, we didn't really talk about him. Like, what was I doing, right? And then he's tied for first after the first 2 rounds. I'm like, bro, this really looks bad for me now. But no, he's a guy who
It's all right. We all make mistakes.
That was kind of dark horse, though.
Dark-
Yeah,
Dark
so
horse.
Nobody really saw that coming.
And he's very good. And he made some comments after Sunday saying it's going to play a lot different next year. Look out!
Yeah.
It's not going to play this way, and that's exactly where we're going.
Yeah,
It rained a significant amount.
yeah.
On Wednesday before the event.
Did
and
it?
then
Oh.
okay. And then on Thursday morning there was a delay as well,
Yep.
which happened to drag round 1 into Friday, and same thing
Is
for
that
round
why
2.
Tiger had to go so late on
Correct.
on
Correct.
Sunday, was it?
Not on Sunday,
On Saturday.
because he had to finish his second round on Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
So he came and played the 5, 6, 7 holes
Right.
on Saturday, and then he had to go play his Sunday round. Okay, so
And you were saying the guys who have the later tee times, it's gonna be a little tougher for them.
yeah, and you could tell in the back 9 the wind started to swirl a little bit more because that sail kind of went out, and it was a lot softer, a lot softer. And I just want people to realize that the golf course is still hard. Okay, you still got to hit good shots, you still got to hit it close, you still got to put it in the hole. Okay, but some of the guys were saying, the shots that they hit into these greens, it was so soft that. A lot of these balls would either roll off the green or roll off the back, and they weren't, guys were hitting long irons and stopping the ball on the green. That normally doesn't happen over there. Not in April.
Is this typical of golf courses in general, where in the spring season, the summer season, where the greens play a little bit drier and they're faster, right, as opposed to like what we just had in November Masters,
Yes and no, and
where the greens were maybe like you just were saying.
I'm trying to give you the best way to explain this. Right now in this area, the greens are about as fast and firm as they're going to be, just because it's cold at night and the grass is able to grow, and they're able to cut it as low as they want because the season's almost over.
Yep.
Down there, it's the same thing. Normally, this golf course is closed now for the entire winter until they have some type of event, and then they have the Masters.
Yep.
Okay, so really the rain and guys, the chips were different just because it's the grass is different at this time of the year, and it will be different. Come April.
Was there anything when you were watching? Because by the way, he sent me a Snapchat. I think it was maybe Saturday of the Masters. Goose had like eight screens up in his apartment.
Yeah, I had the A-Man corner up,
the fucking
and then
Golf Channel headquarters in there.
well, it's this is, I like golf. I mean, there's no other way to say it, but no, it's I think the way that CBS is able to, if you just type in Masters.com, it's got a lot of live footage, and going off 2 tees helped everybody see everybody.
Yeah,
because normally once they finish on the 4th hole or 5th hole, everybody's going the same way. This year they had to come back around, so I had them up all day.
Yeah. So when you were watching, what were some things that stood out to you personally? Like, because I know you're very
In-depth
intuitive when he's watching golf. Because I've seen him
like who are
a million times.
Who are some dudes that maybe didn't get crazy out there, but they had some unfortunate breaks. You know what I mean? That kind of set them back.
What about guys like DeChambeau and all the guys that we kind of talked about in the preview show, who were really nowhere to be found.
So
throughout the Masters,
and that's a perfect spot to kind of go into what we're going to talk about next. We talked about a gentleman who I thought would be a really, really dark horse. He wouldn't win,
The big boy.
but he'd make a cut. Not DeChambeau, Bernhard Langer. Okay,
Right.
And we're going to talk about DeChambeau after I give my shout out to
let's
Bernhard.
talk about Langer.
So Langer is 63 years old.
Oh, it's this dude, yeah.
He's the oldest player to make the cut at the Masters. Okay? Now, let's just read down the list of the notable players that this guy beat. Okay? Ricky Fowler. Okay? Adam Scott. Jordan Spieth. Phil Mickelson. Bubba Watson. Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Okay? This guy has got these long
Take
irons.
notes, young puppies.
And it's unbelievable. watching this guy, and this guy is paired up with Bryson on Sunday, and he's hitting shots 70, 80, 90 yards behind him.
So he outplayed him,
and he beat him on Sunday, and he beat him at the event.
Wow!
So it just goes to show you that we can come up here, and everybody on our staff here can pick 3 or 4 guys, 5 guys.
Yeah.
They might miss the cut.
Know, man. You never know.
Okay, we talked about Jason Day. He missed the cut.
Yeah,
just
that's
because
crazy.
it's hard. It's hard to pick somebody.
I just thought of this. Tom Watson back in 2009. Where it wasn't the mat. What tournament was that where he went? He was like it was him and somebody else.
At the British.
Yeah,
At
dude. That was crazy. Tom Watson, old man.
Right. And Bernhard Langer, I'm going to tell you something right now. This guy can beat 99.9% of the people in the world at golf, and he's beating these guys who are the top players in the world.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one player on this list that doesn't, or 2 players on this list that don't have a green jacket.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Scott's got 1, Spieth's got 1, Phil's got 3, and Tiger's got 4.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, 5, and Watson's got 2. Now Bernhard Langer's won the event 2 times. This guy's 63.
Yeah.
And he's out there beating around with these guys, and you could tell. Because that was the biggest takeaway that I'll have from this event.
Yeah.
Nobody has gotten recognition like DeChambeau got really since Tiger. Okay, going into the event, everybody's talking about how far is he going to hit. Heck, we said it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Dude,
how far is he going to hit it?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where he hits it. He's going to hit the wedge to 2 feet. Then he's going to make the putt, and he's going to go to the next hole.
Basically power his way to the hole.
Now he had a couple of instances where he lost the ball. He was hitting all over the place. Said he didn't feel well. Got tested for COVID sometimes twice a day while he was there, thinking that could have been it.
Yeah.
And
He
he
was
said
really feeling that sick, eh?
He said he's really dizzy and all these different things. And listen. Playing golf when you're feeling 1,000% is hard. If you're not right, especially above the neck, see ya. Okay,
Yeah.
And this guy scraped it around to make the cut. He had to make a ton of birdies on Friday just to get there and get to the weekend.
Yeah.
But
So he was already fucking.
It was difficult for him,
Yeah.
and it's hard. And Tiger spoke to him a little bit and said, just keep doing your thing. You got to try to drown the noise out. It's hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Like guys who we can talk about who aren't playing golf, like LeBron James. That guy's got 1 billion followers who like him, and he's also got 1 billion that hate him.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of got to drown that out. And this week it was
Tough for him.
really, really hard because everybody had the question like, well, you're going to hit it here, and that's fine. But you still got to hit the shots in the right places on the golf course. You still got to hit it on the right side of the flag, and you got to make the putt.
Yeah.
And he just didn't do that this week. But don't get me wrong. This guy's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Once he starts to, and again, he's one of these lucky ones that course will play different next year.
Yep.
Right.
And he's only got 6 months.
Yeah.
So he can come right back next year and win.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
But
not like it's going to be that far out of his mind.
No.
He'll be ready.
no, absolutely not. But I think it was a little bit of a wake up call for him because he dominated at Winged Foot. Only got a shoe under par. And then when he got here, he was like, okay, well, he just played Winged Foot so well. This place is shorter than that. There's no rough, really.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a little bit of a tree line, but you can kind of maneuver around there and play really well. And really, the way that DJ played and got to 20 under, I don't think 20 under will win the event next year in April. Not even close.
What do you think will get it done?
I probably somewhere in the mid to low teens. 12, 13, 14, because these guys are so good.
Right.
And it's going to be so firm that
It's going to be the course that they know.
right.
The right
And
time.
Correct. And it'll be more normal.
Yeah.
Right.
With or without fans because it's going to be played. Because listen, if there's no fans there, they can play this event in April.
Yeah.
They just did it
Right.
this year, and they had no fans, and it was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. I actually liked it better
With no fans?
With no fans, because when I'm watching it, and I've never been there again, when I'm watching it, you can see the different elevation changes and
Yeah.
the way that the green's shaped, and then how high it is when you're going up 10, and then when you're coming back up 18, the whole golf course just goes down the hill. So I thought it was great with no fans and just being able to see the
Adding
shots.
more cameras.
Yeah, you add more cameras. You had more people to kind of give you a different look. Like, okay, this guy hits it here. Normally, there's rows and rows of people standing behind him. You don't really see the shot shape.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads me to a question now. Do you like the guys, like the heavyweight names in the sport, like Tiger, Phil, guys that have been around a little bit? Did this new way of playing, not way of playing, but did this new Masters with no fans, everything we just said. Did you see, or do you feel that this affected some of these players?
Of the old
just
heads?
strictly having it be completely different from the Masters in April as we know it, and then to November, plus with no fans.
Sure.
Did you see anything like that, or do you think anything like that kind of?
I don't think it was. I don't really think that took place. I think these guys go and play there. You know, they normally play there about now.
Yeah, because I mean, in normal golf, we don't have,
there's no fans there,
yeah,
right? Like, let's just say
year.
Tiger and Phil go over there with Ricky and Jordan Spieth, and they just play a big money match. There's no fans there,
right. So they're kind of
that's okay.
Yeah.
They're kind of getting used to it. But I'll tell you what, for some of these rookies who've never been there, Matthew Wolff, Colin Morikawa, guys who got on that first tee and didn't have fans lined up 100 yards down the fairway. Definitely helped them out. Definitely helped them out because it's okay. Now I can see the whole golf course. Where do I hit these shots? Now when I come back here in April, I know where I can hit it, know where I can miss it, but it's going to play different. But I don't think the fans are
key component to one way or the other.
The one person it probably helped was DJ because no one really made a run at him. But if somebody hits a good shot on Sunday, the crowd starts going nuts, and then they make an eagle, and the crowd gets even louder. And then when you get onto that pressure cooker on 16
Sunday at the Masters can be like intense, man.
Of course, especially when
we've seen how many matches come down to either go into the
final
playoff or the final hole, or they go into a playoff.
Just like last year, Tiger had to make par on the last hole.
Yeah.
That was epic.
To win. When you get in that pressure cooker, especially 16, 17, 18, where they're really hard holes. Depending on where the flag is,
that's where the fans.
That's where it starts, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel the energy.
You can feel it watching it on TV.
You can feel watching it on
Thorne,
TV.
One of my professors from Thorne, mentor of ours,
from Shu,
is a man. He's been with the golf world his whole career. That's what he likes to do. He says there's always good weather. He says going to Green Bay in December. I know we got to fix that. Going to Green Bay in December. It ain't fun, he said.
No.
It gets old quick.
Golf travels with the warm weather.
He was there. He was the cam up right on the green for that shot that he won. And he said you could feel the ground move.
Sure.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah, I bet.
And Justin Thomas said this, like, I got to make a ton of birdies on Sunday to try to catch Johnson, but he's not going to know because there's 15 people out here watching me. Yeah. If I hit a really, really good shot on 13 he's coming down the hill on 11.
Yeah.
If there's fans there, you're going to hear it's all tight.
Yeah.
Okay. And Johnson said, I didn't really look at the leaderboard until he asked his brother, who's his caddy. And shout out to Austin, his brother, who's been on the bag for a number of years now. And you could see how emotional he got when he made that final putt. Man, he was crying before he even hit the approach shot, knowing the lead. And he asked him on 18, how close is it? And he said, you're up by 5.
Yeah, you're good.
He's like, I think I can get in the house from here.
Yeah.
And that's. But with fans, you probably start looking at that leaderboard like, Tiger just made an eagle.
Yeah.
What hole was that?
Yeah.
Somebody makes a hole in one because
it kind of makes you turn your shoulder earlier and start thinking about that rather than the hole.
And that kind of helped him on Sunday too. And the two guys that he played with, and I'm not knocking the two guys that he played with, but it was a pairing that he was comfortable with because they didn't really talk. It was a huge moment for these kids as well. Abraham Ancer's his first Masters playing in the final group on Sunday, and Sung Jae Im, if you don't know him, go watch this kid swing.
Yeah, go watch him.
Go watch him because this kid is
You're gonna know who he is,
and he's gonna be here for a long time. He might not win all these majors, but he's gonna be on tour for a very, very long time. He's gonna make a lot of money competing. Okay, and it helped him. It helped him in my eyes. Like man, these guys didn't really talk, and DJ doesn't really talk. Yeah. You see him out there. He talks to Austin. That's really about it.
Yeah, he's quiet as fuck.
Yeah, but to play golf and to get to that caliber, you have to be so zoned in.
Yeah.
Because there's so much margin for error on every single shot.
Yeah.
Chips, putts, hitting off the tee, every single shot. If you're not zoned in, you're going to struggle. And man, was he zoned in on Sunday?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about what's coming up next for golf. But before, real quick, for you personally, Masters, good, bad? Is it what you expected? Were you happy with it as a golf aficionado such as yourself?
Yeah, I thought it was
in November with no fans.
I thought it was a really good event. I thought the way that, and it's not a surprise, the way that Augusta handles themselves for every event. You knew that they were going to do everything they possibly can to put this event on, and really they're lucky that they did. Yeah. Because in the state of where we are right now, everybody I was in here with you last night. We were talking to a guy who was on another show you guys have. You never know.
Yep.
You're on a day to day. Like,
Could be locked down tomorrow.
what's Sunday going to look like?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's too far away.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so they're lucky that they were able
crazy.
to play it. And I think they did a great job without fans and kind of just, we're going to make it about the golf and we're going to have this event.
Yep.
Because it's a staple. It's
Yeah.
a staple in the golf season. Everybody circles their calendar, and they're circling their calendar right now to see if they can try to get tickets for April.
Yeah.
But I think one thing before we look at the future, what's going on in some events.
Yeah, because we want to talk about what's coming up next for golf.
Absolutely, we can get into that. But
Yeah.
one more quick thing was we have to talk about the man Tiger Woods making a 10 on the 12th hole.
Brutal.
Okay,
Yeah.
we talked about that hole.
Yeah.
And said that you better hit it good or you're
Yeah.
going to make a big number. Okay.
And he was playing well up until then, right?
And he played well after that.
Yeah.
He birdied the next hole, parred 14, and then birdied in. Okay.
So it's just that one fucking hole.
And it's a difficult shot. It's a difficult shot. And it's like when you get up there and then you got to hit a flip wedge. And with all these guys, how good they are, they spin it. When it went in the water the second time, I'm sitting there, I'm like, he's going to make a 10.
You think that hole took it out of him mentally, physically?
No, because again, he went
came
out and birdied the
back,
next
yeah.
hole,
Yeah.
parred 14, and then birdied in.
Yeah.
So you got to give the guy credit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
His mental
oh, forget
game
it.
is
gotta be
Forget
next
it.
level.
It's
out of
next
all these
level,
guys,
and
right?
to make all
Especially
these,
after all the shit he went through.
Oh,
to
my
make all
God.
these birdies coming in after making a 10. Okay, and there's a guy and for Barstool that they've got their sports book now, and a guy bet $1 on Tiger Woods making a 10 on one
he
hole
win.
out of the 72, out of all the holes.
Yeah.
He won $150 because Tiger made a 10. Hit it in
That's
the water,
hilarious.
had to drop, chipped up, hit it in the water again, came back, then he hit it in the backtrap, then he hit it in the water again.
Jesus.
Okay? And then he two-putted for a 10.
Sounds like me out there.
Two-putted for 10. And then he went on and proceeded, and I talked to my dad about this too. It's like, man, he
Shout
didn't
out
really,
Mr. G.
didn't really give up.
Yeah.
Didn't really give up because normally he's just, okay, we're going to par in, and I'm not going to win the tournament, and I'm 20 shots back now
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm 3 over for the event, and,
Right.
and DJ's at 17 under.
Yep.
But, had to bring that up, and we talked about that.
So overall, I think successful Masters.
Beautiful Masters.
Well
I think
done.
I think it was really well done. I think
From everyone, from crew to the players to
Yeah.
the
players, it was definitely different for the players, and you can tell they're like, there's no there's no par 3 contest, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was different for the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
It was different for the World
World
Series.
Series.
Yep. It's going to
Yep.
be different for
It's
the
gonna
NFL.
be the Super Bowl is only going to have X amount of people if
If they get there.
you know.
I know.
So
Yeah. So what's on the horizon for golf? We're in the middle. Are we in the midst of the season, right? The PGA season.
right? But the season wraps around, so they've got. And here's the next 3 events. They're playing at Sea Island right now. Normally an event that follows Augusta, in Georgia, and that's a really good event. There's a stacked leaderboard with guys maybe that the average fan doesn't know. But when I looked at it last night, man, their guys are playing so well, and it'll be fun, kind of the shootout today. Following that, they go down to Mayakoba in Mexico.
Okay, I was gonna
and
ask.
they're going to play an event down there too, and that's kind of really we're getting close to the end because
When is that played? I'm sorry.
it's next week.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Next week.
Wow.
So they're playing Georgia. They're playing in Georgia right now at Sea Island, and then they're gonna be at Mayakoba next week, and we're getting close now, especially with COVID.
Yeah.
Everybody's wants to be with their family on Thanksgiving and Christmas, and heck, we all do, right? So the last one, really, and it's not an event that a lot of people play in, but it's an event that
QBE.
I've personally been a part of. I caddied in the Pro-Am for Tony Finau and Greg Norman, who is running the event down in Naples. It's gorgeous down there at this time of the year.
Oh, I
Yeah, we know that. We've been there.
Gorgeous this time of the year to play golf down there, and it's a really, really good event that they've kind of at QBE's their main sponsor now, and they've picked the pace up a little bit. And it's just a fabulous golf course down there in Naples at Tiburon.
Especially at
and
this time. Yeah. It's probably beautiful right now.
gorgeous down
We're
there.
Northeast boys, if anyone's listening. You know,
Yeah,
so
so-
it's a little
so-
different up here.
We should just hop on the plane now and go golf down there.
Honestly.
So those are the next 3 events, and then really I think, and I've talked to when I caddied for Finau, I said this is kind of it. He goes, yeah, we kind of go through the holidays, and then when they have the Tournament of Champions, now I don't know when that's going to be. depending on when the schedule kind of comes around, but it'll be early January. They'll rev it right back up, and there's no stopping. You want to play 52 weeks and you want to make money, go ahead. And some guys have to do that just to pay their way.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Last thing is the Masters is only 133 days away. Okay, so before you know it, it's gonna be 2021, and and these guys are gonna be having me come on. Let's talk about 2021, right?
Baby.
So it's April 5th to April 11th next year. You know the plot, the spot.
Yep.
Not gonna change.
Yep.
And we're definitely looking forward to that.
Oh, I can't wait.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Well, I mean,
That was amazing.
I think the fans got their money's worth with this one and that much more. Steve Guasco, everybody.
Steve, by the way, everybody,
Goose.
Steve Goose is going to be a regular on the sports report. It's not just
get
here.
used to him.
Get used to hearing him. Get used to seeing him. Even when he can't make it in, he's going to be calling in on Mondays and Fridays.
Not only is he a big golf guy, big golf aficionado, Goose has been one of the best sports minds that I've known since I've known him.
On this side,
Which
on
has
this
been
side
like
of the Mississippi River.
7 years old, 6 years old.
Appreciate that. Guys. Thank you.
No worries, dude.
I got big shoes to fill. I come in here, the energy's always on fire here, and
Thanks,
I'm happy
bro.
to come in all the time.
We're excited.
We've been needing it. We want people who want to be here. You know what I mean? So thank you for coming.
And not to mention that this is all day ones in here. So this is beautiful.
Yeah.
But we'll leave it here for today. This has been the Masters post Masters show brought to you by the Sports Port, powered by Downtime TV.
Yes,
Steve
sir.
Guasco, our boy Goose.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Hell
This
yeah,
is
no
great.
doubt. He will be a regular here. So this is
You'll be hearing him
the last
tomorrow
time.
on our Sports Port in the morning.
And that'll do it for us today. Goose, again, thank you for
Thanks,
coming in.
guys.
And thank you to the fans, and
Always a
we
pleasure,
love you
boys.
guys.
Love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Hell yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
No key to my heart, I locked it. Don't trust a bitch, be cautious. When I think about love, I'm nauseous. Where's my mind? I lost it. If I gotta pay, what's it costing? Hey, I cannot settle for less. I need private jets.
30
I need
minutes.
checks. I need more sex.
30 minutes. That's exactly what you want.
That flowed was like ridiculous.